and then. Hello and welcome to the PACG Rocket League broadcast, coming to you live from the Einar Nilsson Fieldhouse on the University of Utah campus. I am Archie Sleek Smith, joined here by my wonderful co-caster Stents. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, I'm always good. Another Friday night with some epic Rocket League action for our viewing pleasure.
Absolutely. So, going forward, let's take a quick look at our tournament schedule, get people up to speed. Well, not our schedule today, more our format. Stents, break it down for us.
So first we've got our group stage, 8 weeks of play and 5 matches per school in a round-robin format. For Rocket League, there are no divisions. The teams just play each other once, and then we get seeded into our semifinals and grand finals that will take place during finals week, where every single one of our games has their finals. So that's going to be a fun week for everyone involved.
That's going to be incredibly exciting. But before we get to that, we got to go to today's matches, opening with USC versus Washington State. These are the only two teams we have not seen play yet in our tournament here. So after this, we'll have a pretty good feel for what all the teams are going to look like. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm particularly excited about this match. I'm excited to see what both of these teams can bring to the table. I know that it should be very competitive based upon their rankings. They're kind of all at the same level, so we should have a very competitive game.
Right on. After that, we'll have Colorado versus Stanford. But before we can get to that, let's look at our player lists here for our first game.
As you can see, we have Jay Hobozo, Jay the Bay, and King of Pugs for USC.
Now, those are some names right there.
Oh, yeah. If we're going based upon gamer tags, I have to give the edge to USC. Those are some dank names. And for Washington State, we have B900 Cool, James with a 4 instead of an A, and Sky. Sky, I'm sorry, but your gamer tag's not that creative, but I hope I get to see some epic Rocket League play out of him today.
Do you think he went for that name because when he's playing Rocket League, his vehicle is very often in the sky?
You know, I feel like he must have taken that into account when choosing that gamer tag. I mean, if I don't see him doing some awesome aerials, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
I think that would kind of be false advertising. I think we can sue him for that.
Can we?
Maybe.
Do we have legal working on that for us? As you can see, we brought up the graphic here. Both teams haven't played a match, and I'm excited to see who will come out on top in this one.
Yeah, so knowing the rosters, seeing the ranks, do you have a favored team kind of going into this one?
Honestly, I'm leaning a little bit towards Washington State, mostly because their ranks, even though they're very competitive between the two teams, the average rank is slightly higher for Washington State. I'm a little bit concerned with King of Pugs. He's a slightly lower rank compared to everyone else, but I expect him to want it that much more, and he'll be playing on the same level as everyone else on the field.
I'm sure they wouldn't put him on the team if he couldn't pull his own weight. I'm going to go ahead and have faith in those boys over there, and just in the spirit of supporting both teams, going to go ahead and call USC on this one just for myself. Well, that's just me. So going in here, I heard you received personal statements from some of the players. Anything interesting coming out of either of these two teams?
Honestly, they're both just very excited for the PACG season, and they really know how important it is to get off to a good start here in the season, because you only play each team once. So getting a W versus someone could be a tiebreaker potentially.
There's going to be very few head-to-head opportunities to dethrone another competitive team. So without too much further ado, I do believe we're about ready to go into this one. All right.
I think we are. As of now, we're waiting to get it started here.
All right. Field on screen, players coming in. Oh, I love just kind of that pre-match feeling. The music gets you pumping. Oh, look at that car. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's USC versus Washington State. The opening up sends it out off to the right. Juvanzo puts it close to enemy goal. Hello. Dangerous plays right out the gate from Washington State. But already on target, James scores in the first 10 seconds of the match. Stents, what just happened?
As you can see, Jay the Bay made a misplay there with his boost jump, and that really costed his team. Hopefully they can rebound from that early goal and get one of their own up on the board.
Now already going back into it. Another bounce off to the side, Washington State side. King of Pugs once again in position, but USC already putting the pressure back onto them. Jay the Bay has the ball, sent back towards his team. It's close to USC's goal here, but Sky will clear it out quickly.
We're seeing lots of back and forth gameplay here, as expected between teams of this caliber. They're both very identically skill-wise, so I'm excited to watch this as we get a shot on goal there from Washington State.
There's another tap, not quite where it needs to be. DeBonzo trying to make it happen for his team. Pass towards the center, but no one there to receive the pass. Instead, cleared away by USC towards Washington State's goal. That was very close. But now bouncing it back and forth across the two sides. A bit of a volley going on here, actually.
I'm loving this aggressive gameplay we're seeing out of both teams. Both teams aren't afraid to take some risk early on here to try to put themselves up ahead. As we see B900 cool putting USC up on Washington State 2-0. That was a beautiful goal right there.
This guy is being cool right now.
That he is, as we go into the 50-50 off the rip. I want to see what Washington State's going to do to combat this aggressive attack from USC.
And I think they've had the right idea. They've been playing a lot of aggressive ball themselves, just not quite getting the execution they need. Bozo looking for that same execution. Ends up sending it back towards his own goal. King of Pugs looking for it. Got a bit of a double commit there. Now Be Cool looking for another shot. Last second save. Beautiful play.
Yeah, that was big by Jay Hobozo right there. That was clutch for his team. He really needed to make that save. Otherwise, we could be looking at a bigger deficit.
That we could. Now Be Cool wants to go in on this ball. Can't get it towards goal. Just kidding. Yes, he can. Puts it on frame. Be Cool takes another one.
That was a beautiful little tap. He put himself in good position to be there for the redirect into the goal. That's what you love to see out of USC.
Oh, that just feels bad if you're King of Pugs. He was so close to being where he needed to be to block that shot. I think 9 out of 10 times he's able to deflect that.
Yeah, I love what USC is doing on offense here. They're keeping the pressure on consistently while not totally giving up their defensive rotations. Beautiful gameplay.
Now, King of Pugs looking for his team here. Sky coming through. Not going to make the impact they once, though. Could be looking for the rebound. James kind of rotating back on the defense. Hello, little demolition here early on.
Yeah, I'd love to see Washington State pushing for some more demos just to shake up the play style of USC. Because I feel like they're doing exactly what they want to do.
USC kind of running this game right now, putting the ball where they want to put it. Washington State needs to find their footing, so they just barely deflect another one. A beautiful defense there from the boys of WSU.
Yeah, they're starting to play a lot more defensively as USC is continuing to push on offense. But not only is USC pushing well on offense, their defensive rotations are very quick to the ball. So it's very difficult for Washington State to get anything going here, as we see USC putting it on goal again as B900 Cool puts another one in the net. That's a hat trick for the man.
This man is looking incredibly dangerous here. If I'm Washington State, I have to have eyes on this guy at all times. If I'm the coach, I'm telling those players, anytime you're rotating back, know where this guy is at all times. They can't keep letting him have these shots.
Yeah, not only that, he has 7 shots on goal. They're just peppering Washington State's defense with aggressive balls towards the net, and Washington State's actually doing a pretty admirable job of stopping most of them, but they got to get the ball out of their zone, otherwise they're just going to be playing defense all day long.
Well, right now they do have it in USC's territory here. Be Cool on the defense. Jay the Bay looking for control, puts it towards USC's goal. Follow-up could be there from his team, but not quite in position. There's the tap, getting close. Be Cool looking for the clear, not quite on the mark. It's up to James to clear this for his team.
Yeah, this is good. Washington State starting to get aggressive. It's making USC uncomfortable right here as the ball's on goal.
Oh,
goes off close. The crossbar.
It's bouncing just in, just another tap, but Washington State not in position to get it into the goal. That's unfortunate for those boys there. Be Cool looking to be fortunate himself. Cannot get his 4th goal of the game. I don't think he should feel too deterred about that, though.
Yeah, I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of a frantic gameplay style here. There's only about a minute left. Washington State needs to do something now as the game clock's just running out on them.
Now, there doesn't seem to be really just enough time left in the game for Washington State to make up this deficit, but there's still time for them to get some confidence back in themselves, find their footing, and Jay the Bay looking to do just that, already putting the ball in a dangerous position. Up to James, looking for that clear, but Washington State wants to catch it on landing. Hello, rolling towards goal. Be cool with the last second save.
That was key there, just mostly because they want to keep this 4-0 scoreline. I feel like giving up that one goal just shows that their defense is penetrable.
This man's a legend. That was incredible.
Yeah, he's feeling himself this game. He's flying around the pitch, doing everything for his team.
Jehovah just barely off the mark. King of Hugs wants to turn it around. Oh, he's got that trademark. Yeah. Now for his team, 5 seconds left on the clock. Washington State wants to keep this in the air if they can. Last second, no, not gonna find it. USC will get that early advantage there in game one. What allowed them to be so dominant there, Stents?
They're just offensive aggression, honestly, was key. They were able to rotate back on defensive effectively when they needed to, but they kept the ball mostly on Washington State's side the entire time. So they had the defense there if they needed it, but they just kept pounding the ball into the zone, shots on net, where they completely had, I want to say, around 8 more than Washington State. So USC's offensive gameplay was just incredible.
Definitely looked like it. So if you are in the Washington State huddle right now and you're talking about what you need to do for next game, what do you figure these guys are saying?
I think that they need to work on their defensive rotations, because the key to offense is not having the ball in your defensive zone, obviously. So if you can get back, you can play some solid defense, you can get some clears, you can start putting on some pressure, as they did in the second half of that game. You're going to start getting goals. You're going to start feeling better because you're not always playing defense. You're going to get a little cushion there. So I'm excited to see what they're going to change going into game 2.
Well, we'll see if they're able to make that adjustment. But for me, the scoreline wasn't very showing, but I think that was a very back-and-forth game. Very competitive, just both teams had to show some good offensive and defensive moves, which is kind of exciting. I think we're in for a pretty good set here, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I feel like this has a lot of potential to go to a Game 5. These two teams the scoreline doesn't show up, but that was a close game. They were both playing incredibly well, just one team a little more so than the other.
Well, let's see if Washington State is able to kind of bring it together here in our Game 2 as we get started. Initial jostle, heading towards the orange team's side. Now, USC Javozo flying through the air near the blue team's goal here. Be cool, moving around, is denied that aerial touch by his team. Now James on the defense, looking for where he needs to be in this next play. Sky kind of distant from the ball. James looking to get the clear away for his team. Deflects it, there it is, off the wall. Teammates need to be there to receive that for him. Jay the Bay collects a boost, looking to make a play here shortly. Yeah, that's dangerously close to goal. One more tap. James with the opening goal.
Yeah, you love to see that. They're going to keep their foot on the gas pedal here. Very aggressive gameplay for them coming out here in Game 2 to get the 1-0 lead less than a minute into the game.
That they did earn for themselves. Now going back in, 40 seconds on the clock. Ball goes off to the right-hand side. James passes it towards Sky, looking for the tap, but Be Cool, the actual receiver of that pass. A lot of coordination here. All the players participating and making this a coherent offense. Little demolition gives the man advantage to the team in orange. King of Pugs leading the charge for the University of Southern California. Jehozo takes the ball out of the air. This could be their offensive opportunity. With Jay the Bay sending it to the middle ground. They just can't get a shot that they want.
Yeah, their setups here are actually not too bad. They're just not getting good taps on the ball, good shots on goal. I think that's going to change here as they put it on net. But as you see, Sky there with the tap to get it out of the danger zone.
The defense is looking very strong from our blue team here. Be Cool wants to make his defense into an offense here, but orange team is ready to intercept him. Now King of Hugs needs to clear this out for USC. Jay the Bay with the ball. James deflects it towards the goal.
Yeah, as you see here, USC is starting to put on a lot of pressure into the offensive zone, and their defense is there too as the ball flies towards the net, but Washington State is able to get the clear.
Now, ball continues to be contested. James flicks it to his teammate, sets up Sky for a nice little shot forward. Defense from USC gets it out of there, though. Ball in a dangerous position. James and Sky and working together to make sure they didn't let that one slip through their fingers.
As we predicted, this game is much closer. I love to see the on-the-fly rotations and changes that both Washington State and USC are doing to try to combat the strategies their opponents are using.
It has been a lot of great play. It's been back and forth. The ball has been everywhere. Now Sky wants to put it in USC's goal. One of the few places it hasn't been just yet. Yeah. Johozo looks for the clear, sends it Washington State's way.
I love this offensive pressure from USC right here. They're not just willing to settle to go down in this game, even though they have the one-game lead already. They're trying to put their foot on the gas pedal and get this game tied up as we go into the final 2 minutes of this game number 2.
Be cool. We'll take the second one for Washington State. This dude, he's still being cool. Not to overstate the same point here. Really kind of dribbled that in all there by himself. That's a high mechanical skill play right there.
Yeah, he's not doing it by himself, though. His teammates are getting the ball in a position for him to be able to put it home, and that's what you love out of your teammates.
I have to agree. A famous sports coach who I don't remember the name of once said, a good team's a lot like a car. It's good to have your engines, your star players, but you got to have the wheels and all those other parts in there to make it all work.
That is very true as James puts the ball on net, but no one's there to finish it. But Sky comes in with the second try, and Be Cool there with the third. The constant attack on goal from Washington State is paying off.
I mean, that's just what we were talking about there. Every member of Washington State was a part of that goal.
And that's exactly what you need if you want to put goals in the net. There's always going to be a goalie there to block the first shot. You need those follow-ups, those second, those third shots. That's the key right there to good offensive play.
I see. Now Be Cool wants to tap it out of the air, sends it Johobo's away, flecks it down in front of his own goal, actually. Not the clear he was looking for, but Jay the Bay will find it, puts it towards Washington State's goal. Might have been a little bit of an overcommit from USC, though.
Yeah, but what I like to see there is that it looked like both of them were going for the ball for a double commit, but the communication was there to say, hey, I got this one. Go get ready for the shot.
So it is important to have that trust and communication in your team. Be Cool sends it to James, trusting his teammate to put the pressure onto USC. Sky there to follow up. Minute left on the clock. And Be Cool still bringing a lot of pressure onto USC.
Yeah, USC's keeping it very close here. There's 50 seconds left. I love to see a goal right here from Jay Hobozo. This is still doable. I still think they can come back, especially the way they've been playing. It's been incredibly competitive.
And this has been a very fast-paced game. You might be looking at the game clock and saying, well, there's just not enough time. With the pacing of this game, I think there is a time on the clock for USC to get a few more goals in here, maybe tie it up.
Hey, if it comes down to a last-second juggle, we could see some epic action here to finish this one off.
Oh, I love the overtime juggles for goals. But now, Jay the Bay on the defense needs to get this out. King of Pugs trying to position, help out his team. Jay will clear it on out. But Johobo puts it towards the goal yet again. No relention from USC.
Yeah, they're really trying to get themselves back into this one. With only 20 seconds left, you're going to see an all-out offensive push here. Try to get the final 2 goals to tie this up and try to send it into overtime.
Jay the Bay, again, puts it very close to Washington State. Kind of tries to mimic that play we saw from Be Cool earlier. Sky in position, wants to get the last tap in here, but Jay the Bay will have the last word on that ball. Be Cool wants one more, and he will find it. He has a hat trick in both these games.
He's playing incredibly well along with his teammates. The team chemistry is there, the pass and the finish. We got our last second goal, not for USC, but for Washington State, to put themselves up 2-1 in this game.
Yeah, that's going to put us to a 2-0 set, I believe, in favor of Washington State Stents. Thanks for playing, though.
Dude, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm starting to feel, I'm feeling something. USC's starting to get their game together. Their rotations are looking better. Their offensive pushes are looking better. I think they're going to take a win in the next one.
I don't think that's too terribly far-fetched. We did see them get their first goal of this series here towards the tail end of that game. That gets a little win under their sails, put some confidence back in these boys. I'd say they're primed for a good Game 3 fight.
Yeah, what I want to see out of USC is a lot more of offensive pushes, and they're starting to get there. They're starting to coordinate as a team, because if you're playing off the back foot the entire game, it's not going to go well for you. You could have those epic long-range goals, just a counter goal basically, but those aren't going to happen every single time. You got to have structured offensive pushes to be able to put enough goals up on the scoreboard to compete with Washington State's firepower.
But just think about it. Have we seen a real full field goal here in the PACG so far?
I don't think we have. I mean, Arizona might have done something crazy against Stanford last week, but honestly, I couldn't be able to tell you that.
I mean, Arizona seemed to really be more about their close-range dunk plays for me. But, hey, maybe we'll see it here in Game 3, potentially. Win. All right, but before we can get into that, you said USC has a good chance of taking this next game here. What are going to be the hallmarks that they're about to pull this out?
I'd love to see them get an early goal before Washington State. They've been playing down 1-0, 2-0, both of the first games. If they can get that first goal on the board, that would be a major confidence boost, and it could change up how Washington State plays because they haven't had to play from behind yet.
That could be the kind of the pace-changing thing that they need to see. We'll see if they're able to make it happen in Game 3, USC versus Washington State. This could be set point, though. I feel pretty confident if I'm in Washington State's corner here.
I mean, you always want to be the team up 2-0, but this series is far from over as we've had close games. As you can see, Sky's pushing it in towards the USC zone here with the tap towards goal, but no one's there for the hammer home as the ball comes back into Washington State's zone.
And now, Jay the Bay and his team trying to get it out of there. Bozo looking to get some aerial control of this ball, but it's Jay the Bay who prepped the long-range charge to put Washington State in a little bit of danger. The assist from King of Pugs, not quite on the mark, though.
Yeah, as USC rotates back on defense, I want to see what they're going to do here to stop this aerial attack.
They'll do just that. Jay the Bay showing off some incredible mechanical prowess for his team. Now the goal, paint dangerously close to Washington State. There's the tap. This could be on target. Sky needs to find it.
The
Jay
own goal. That's gotta hurt. Sky with the bicycle kick into his own goal. I'm sure he didn't mean to do that.
I mean,
that's gotta hurt.
But props to Jay the Bay for putting it in such a difficult position for Sky to work with. USC gets their first lead of the series.
Now this is the key part. What are they going to do here? Are they going to go back to having to play a defensive play style, or are they just going to keep pushing to try to increase their goal lead?
I want them to kind of keep the aggression up. That's what's worked for them. Even the games they've lost, the best play we've seen out of USC is them on the offense. Washington State has been pushed back defensively pretty consistently here. You don't suppose that one goal's getting to them.
King of Pugs with the stop there. That was really important. For a second there, it didn't look like they had anyone back rotated on defense, but they were able to at least stop the pressure for now as it's cleared out from their zone.
Now Jay the Bay, once gets this out of the air, throws it towards Washington's side. Doesn't have any teammates quite to follow up there. Now all the way sent back onto the orange corner. Jozo wants to get it out. Jay the Bay looking to stop that from getting near his goal, is successful in doing so. As USC pushes forward on the offense yet again. King of Pugs wants to assist Jay the Bay. Not where he wants to be, but Jabozo is where he wants to be. They can't get the ball on goal just yet.
Yeah, these defensive rotations from Washington State have been incredible to stop this pressure from USC over the past minute or so here.
They're showing they can play every aspect of the game. Offensive, defensive, and all your fences in between. King of Pugs now wants to support his team here, following up Jay's push forward. Be cool, throwing the ball back to USC.
Yeah, that's what I love to see here is both of these teams are playing as teams. Sure, there are some individual star plays out of Be Cool, but those don't happen without good communication. What these rotations are telling me is both of these teams are playing incredibly well as Be Cool gets another goal onto his resume for the night. Ties up the game 1-1.
Speak of the man, and he will appear. Be Cool has no chill in this set.
Was that a reverse caster curse there? I call out his name for doing good things, and suddenly the goal goes in? I mean...
Mayhaps it's kind of a build-up, kind of the counter-product of all of us talking up USC and their kind of bounce back here in Game 3.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen here as James is able to clear it out. But Be Cool is there for the redirect, but he gets it into the corner. Not sure what he was trying to do there. I would have thought he would have put it on goal because his teammate was ready for the immediate follow-up.
Well, I thought it was fair. That's what he was trying to do. Cool stunts.
That one was real close there. Sky playing very close to the goal there, but the defense was there to make the stop.
Now, James wants to get it there. Sky sends it to the midfield, but no one on his team immediately there. Instead, it's going to be USC's chance to go on the offense. Jay gets a bit of a touch, sent towards midfield. Jehobo wants to be in position to catch it. Collects some boost on the way, but does not connect with the ball.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. He was the only one back on defense for a second there, and that could have hurt. But Washington State was not able to take advantage of that opportunity. As Jay the Bay puts the ball on goal, but Be Cool is there for the save.
The back and forth has been intense this game. Never a dull moment. Jehozo wants to get back on the defense. King of Pugs, however, this Pug is king, not letting that happen.
That's what I love to see here is for USC, it's a very team-oriented effort. You're not seeing one guy do everything. Every member of this team is making clutch plays when they need to keep this game tied up as we go into the last minute of this game.
But as you say it, Jay the Bay does not want to be denied his title of star player. He's been doing so much for his team on offense and defense. Looking like one of the strongest members of this roster right now.
Now, I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. Are both teams going to start playing a little frantically, or are they going to just be okay with going into an overtime here?
I don't think any team should be ever okay with anything other than winning. Jay the Bay puts his team ahead with 40 seconds on the clock.
That's big there. My 2-1 call earlier, that wasn't actually a call, it was a mistake, but I'm taking it to the bank right now as it looks like USC could be taking this game.
As entirely possible, Washington State still has time, but they have to work quickly. James going to do just that. The ball floating in the air. Washington has had good control, but Jehozo with the better clear actually throws it back towards Washington's goal. Be Cool, just barely there to get it out of danger.
Now they just got to play some solid defense here, but it gets tied up. James puts it home with the assist from Be Cool. Wow, I was not ready for that.
We're tied up again. 20 seconds. Jehozo, look at the result. Was so close. He was where he needed to be.
Do you think we're going to see a goal here in the last 20 seconds, or are we going to overtime?
It seems more likely that we'll go to overtime, but I think anything can happen kind of in this 11th hour situation for these teams.
Yeah, these teams are so evenly matched. It's beautiful to see this level of Rocket League gameplay on the main stage here.
Now Joza wants to clear it out, taking it away. Not a lot of defenders in position. Sky wants to set it up for Be Cool. He's looking for the last second. Ball still in the air. James keeps it alive for now. Jay the Bay turns it around. It's going to go off the wall here.
This juggle, man.
But James will put it in. The overtime juggle wraps up this series. Washington will take the 3-0 sweep in their PACG debut.
Now, I've said this once, I've said this twice, I've said this so many times. Communication is key. Juggles like that, last-second juggles, do not happen without every teammate being on the same page. That's what you love to see out of a team like Washington State.
That is so huge for this team. They have to be feeling fantastic. They have to be feeling just so confident about this. If I'm Washington State, I'm very happy about my performance here today.
Yeah, but what excites me is just the level of gameplay we had. Those two teams were incredibly close, and if we get games like that all year long, we're in for a fun ride here.
It is still early on, and if we see more of kind of the Game 3 USC as we go forward, they're going to be a real contender in this tournament.
Oh, completely. I can see them going toe-to-toe with teams like Utah and Colorado, the teams that have shown that they have very good gameplay, good communication, and that can kind of clutch up in those moments. So I'm excited to see them in future matches.
But for now, it is Washington State's total victory. Very strong opening showing. We'll have a Colorado versus Stanford game here for you shortly, but first we have to take a 5-minute break. We'll be seeing you soon. Welcome back to the PACG Rocket League broadcast. I am still Sleek, and this is still Stents. Surprise. Now we are returning to you here for our second match of the evening here. Going to be Stanford versus Colorado. This is going to be our first kind of repeat match for any of our teams.
Yeah, I'd love to see what Stanford's going to bring to the table today after a tough loss against Arizona last week.
This wasn't intentional at all in the scheduling, but Stanford and Colorado are kind of the two losers from our last week's broadcast, so there's a chance for redemption for both of these teams. So let's go ahead and look at those rosters, see who's going to be playing with us here.
As you can see, we got a team change for Colorado from last week. They're bringing in Jay instead of J13. I'd love to see what that does to the team, whether they perform better or not.
I mean, just from where I'm sitting, J is easier to say than J13. So that's a direct communications upgrade as far as I'm concerned. So I think that should help them a lot going forward. Across the way, Stanford, same boys you know and love. It's Merlin, Zormask, and Dope Dinosaurs.
Still the best gamer tag we've seen, Dope Dinosaurs. If he plays anything up to the level of his gamer tag, he's going to be doing some amazing stuff out there.
I have to agree. So, we've seen a little bit of Stanford before. Been a few questions about this team and what they need to do to win. What you kind of see are the big check marks for Stanford. What's on their to-do list to show they've made progress since last week?
They got to stop double committing. They double commit a lot. So hopefully their communication has improved to where they're not sending two guys to do the same thing, and that'll help their defensive and offensive rotations. You don't want to have two players trying to do the same thing at the same time, because then there's a hole in your setup.
You need all three players to properly play the field of Rocket League. You got to play the full field of the pitch, as my high school soccer coach stressed to my team very extensively, especially when we were playing poorly. But let's see if Stanford's able to kind of pull out that same thing there, work their whole team, make the most of their entire roster, and we'll see if that's enough to pull one out over Colorado here.
I mean, these guys have the brains behind them. They go to Stanford, and I asked every captain before this week for a statement, kind of what they were looking forward to, what they thought of their matchups this week. And the Stanford, he sent me a beautifully written paragraph here with semicolons and just beautiful writing, and it's obvious he goes to such a good institution like Stanford.
Is that an MLA format?
You know, I'm not surprised he didn't cite his sources. I mean, I feel like that's the next step for his pregame speeches to me.
All right, well, he has certainly been doing his homework. Hopefully they've been putting just as much practice and study onto the pitch itself, and will be coming out with the advanced 300 IQ plays that we expect from the red team there. Across the way, you got one of those statements for Colorado? Anything needed in there?
Yes, I do. All of these players, they're Champ 2. They're very good at Rocket League, certainly much better than I am. But they feel like with this new teammate that they're going to be able to be better this week. They think they should have beat Utah last week. They lost in a crushing Game 5, and they're confident in their new team member, Jay, to kind of bring them that extra oomph to get them into the win column this week.
All right, so you said all three of these players are Champ 2 right now?
Yes.
Wasn't J13 also Champ 2?
He was, I believe he was also Champ 2, so...
Are they coordinating this?
I honestly, they must just play a lot together. I mean, that would make sense. They're getting good ranked play practice in as a squad, so they kind of go up and down the ranks together. So, but I really feel like this team change is going to benefit them in this match. I mean, we'll see against a quality opponent like Stanford just how good they are with this new team member.
Definitely both these teams, something to prove here. A little bit of pride on the line. And to be honest, this is going to be really important kind of seeding information for me. Next week, with all the teams having played, some of them playing twice, we're going to be able to start making kind of team rankings here, trying to figure out who's going to be the top dog, start making more serious predictions about what's going to happen as the PACG goes forward. And this is going to be a pretty big game for that.
Yeah, I know myself as a caster / color commentator / analyst / whatever I do here. I'm gonna create my own power rankings after this week, just to kind of see, just to kind of have a list here of who I think is good, based purely off of my brain and nothing else.
Not gonna have any like gamer tag factors in there?
No, I think we're gonna be able to put together a comprehensive list that actually means something, or it could mean nothing because it's a caster power rankings, and I could just be stupid.
caster power rankings have a tendency to be not the most entirely reliable thing at times, but not ours. Ours are going to be top-notch. We're basically going to predict every goal and timestamp by next week.
So do you have a prediction for this first game here? I'm not going to ask you for the series. I want your Game 1 scoreline prediction.
Game 1 scoreline prediction. That's the question I'm supposed to ask you. Okay,
I know. I'm turning it around on you. I'm testing you.
Oh, tables have turned. Well, Stanford and Colorado, both fairly aggressive, been a bit more defensive than, say, Utah and Arizona. So I think probably going to see something a little lower scoring from them. Maybe 2-1, 3-2 in either direction.
So you're not gonna make the call Stanford or Colorado in this? You're just gonna give us a
and
score?
spoil the ending?
Well, we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, we
well,
guess.
I'm that good. I can probably just call it.
Trust me. Okay, so we have Stanford, Colorado. Colorado looked, frankly, better than Stanford did last week. They both had the L. So I mean. But I feel like Stanford, even though they didn't play as good as Colorado, they were playing a tougher opponent, in my opinion. Arizona has looked unstoppable so far in the PACG season. So I feel like in Game 1 here, it'll be a 3-1 scoreline for Colorado. And I think Colorado's going to take the entire series in a 3-1 fashion.
You really like the 3-1 scorelines, don't you?
Yeah, it gives me some wiggle room. I'm not calling for the Game 5 epicness. And I'm not calling the quick sweep because, you know, sometimes those are fun to watch, but I'd honestly love to see longer series and more competitive Rocket League.
I do too, and just in the spirit of really liking Game 5s, I'm going to call we're going to go to a Game 5 as we go into Game 1 here. It's Stanford versus Colorado. Merlin in control of the ball early. I like that aggressive play right out a gate. I also like his car.
Dude, the paint jobs on these cars for Stanford, They know you got to look good, you got to feel good as we get into this. Heidi putting the ball on net as Just a Boink centers it, but no one's there to put it back into the net.
And Dope Dinosaurs wanting to throw that back the other way. Zormask, that racing fin on his car, giving him the maximum speed, but not enough to stop Jay from getting the opening goal. 26 seconds into the match.
Yeah, the new member of the team already showing that he's comfortable and ready to go with this early goal. I'm honestly excited to see what we're going to get from Colorado today.
Although props to Merlin, was in position to deflect that one, but just the counter deflect's too strong here. Now Zormask clearing it out in the direction of Jay. Sends it into the air. Bit of an aerial battle. Heidi gets the tap. Jay misses it. Dope Dinosaur Tower does not have the angle he wants. No, cannot find that tap, but the boys of Colorado will do just that. Now, Dope Dinosaur circling back around, wants to clear it out of his goal. It's so close! Jay takes his second of the game.
This is beautiful team play out of Colorado. You have Heidi putting the ball right near the net, so all Jay does is to tap it in. That's beautiful chemistry right there, even with the new member of the team.
And just a lot of good game sense to know where the ball is going to be. You have to plan that in advance. You got to set a course, get you the right angle off your jump. This place, that's not hard. That's not easy to do. Not easy to do at all.
No, it is not. But I'm also liking what I'm seeing from Stanford here. They have all three back on defense, but they're just getting assaulted by the Colorado offense as they put another goal on the board to take a 3-0 lead here.
That's the smoothest looking play I have seen. Like the backwards flip from Heidi. That is
those
stylish.
Ooh.
Like
the swagger on the pitch right now is next level.
I mean, especially, I'm still hung up on Heidi's play there. The backwards flip thing, that is my favorite play of the PACG so far. That was awesome.
I mean, these guys know it's a Friday night. They're starting to feel themselves. They're putting themselves out there looking good, feeling good, as Colorado continues to put shots on goal here.
And now, up to Merlin, wants to clear this out, trying to time the bounce very well. Just a Boink turns it around. Dope Dinosaurs, however, is there to answer back. Heidi in control, wants to send it off the wall, not on target. Up to Jay to send it towards the goal of Stanford. Dope Dinosaurs looking to get for it, but Just a Boink with Just a Boink puts so much pressure onto Stanford.
Yeah, that was dangerous there. They had a double commit from the goal there. If either one of them, if there would have been a bump or a miss there, you could have seen another goal for Colorado.
Just another Colorado player there could have finished that off. Zed, Zormak, trying to get it out. Dope Dinosaurs and Merlin in the defensive position will stop the immediate, but Jay not to be deterred, gets his third of the match. Not bad for a first game sub.
Yeah, Colorado just looks like they've been playing together since they came out of their mother's womb. It's actually a beautiful thing to watch. The teamwork, the coordination. You would have sworn that they would have been playing together in week 1.
One would think. But now, going a strong showing here in week 2. Now, Dope Dinosaurs on the defense. Merlin there to support. Heidi falling back for his team. A little out of boost, so that's going to recall and prep for that.
Yeah, for Stanford here, their defensive rotations aren't bad. It's just the offensive pressure from Colorado is making it hard to do anything productive. I'd love to see them get the ball out into Colorado's zone for longer periods of time. And Merlin, you got to clear that one. You can't put your team on the back foot like that. I'll be surprised if this doesn't lead to a goal.
And now Heidi trying to do just that. Just a boink, looking to get his first goal of the game. Not going to find it. Jay coming in hot. Bumps it a little too high, though. Going to need some help from his friends. But Merlin has that and spades. Keeps the ball away from the goal for just that little bit longer. Now, Dope Dinosaurs wants the clear, but Colorado unrelenting, like they can see the future. Heidi takes his 5th.
Yeah, he's just on another level. Heidi, as the captain for this Colorado team, I feel like he's taking the brunt of making the play calls, calling out who should go where, who should be doing what as the game's going on. That's a lot of pressure to be put on his shoulders, but he seems to be handling it like a champ.
I mean, also, just there's got to be some first game nerves here for Jay, but they're just not showing. But Merlin making the magic happen, gets Stanford on the board. That's important.
Yeah, that's what I love to see out of Stanford. Even if they go down 4-0, 3-0, 5-0, they're not going to stop playing. They play hard until the final second ticks off the clock. I would not be surprised if they make it closer here.
I just wanted to point out, Merlin did Heidi's own little backflip trick right back onto him to score. I like the little things like that. That means a lot to me.
I mean, I just love the level of Rocket League play we're seeing here out of both Stanford and Colorado. They both clearly have a passion for the game. As you can see, there's only one man back on defense right now to kind of deal with the pressure as the other two rotate back to help out Merlin there on the defensive front.
Jay hanging out on the side, wanted to catch the rebound. Kind of gets past him, but nothing gets past, just a boink. Dope Dinosaurs steals the spotlight, deflects it away, denies the hot play. Heidi sends it to Merlin, who answers back in kind.
Yeah, if there's one thing Stanford should try to work on here in between games or as soon as possible is double commits. You saw another one there. Thankfully, they were able to. One of them was able to tap it out of the zone to buy themselves some time to reposition themselves. But if you keep doing those are not a good thing to be, getting used to. You'd love to see one player go for the ball and the other two be ready to deal with whatever may happen afterwards.
Because the second you send in 2 players towards the ball, that's one player who's not watching some other position that you need covered. Now 2 people in goal. That one I don't mind. Maximum safety required to deflect the incredibly dangerous Colorado offense.
Yeah, Colorado's continuing to try to get a 6th goal here as there's only 15 seconds left, but they're not going to stop trying to run up the score because they love to see more and more goals on the board.
Also, you got to pad those stats. I mean, as the league progresses, we're going to have stuff like top scorers, most goals in time, or whatever. Colorado, they want to be on top of that.
Of course. Everyone loves to pad their stats as much as possible. I mean, what are you going to show to people who don't really watch Rocket League? You're going to be like, see, look at this sheet of paper right here. I'm at the top. I have the most goals. I'm the best. Let's go.
Right now, Colorado padding their win column for their team. Will take their first match in this set. 5-1. Bit of a back and forth. It was pretty dominant from Colorado, but definitely saw some good stuff from Stanford there.
Oh, yeah, both teams definitely look good. Colorado's continuing their high level of play from last week, and Stanford looks like they're getting more and more comfortable playing with each other. I'm excited to see how they improve in our game, too. See if they can learn anything from Colorado's play style that they'll maybe adapt to and try to stop in this game, too.
We'll see if they're able to do just that. If you want to highlight any real specific areas you want to see them tackle, what would that be?
Well, I mean, you just got to cut out the double commits. Those are going to kill you if you continue to do them. I mean, they won't hurt you every time, but it's just not the right way to play Rocket League. Sending 2 people to do a one-man job is not a good thing to do, especially in Rocket League.
I have to agree. That's just kind of your Rocket League 101 there. My personal thing, if Stanford wants to kind of come out on this game, they need to be keeping tabs on Jay at all times. Traditional sports, soccer, basketball, hold that thought going into game here. Initial bump, kind of just bounce around the middle of the field. Jay looks to get it, but instead, Stanford's actually kind of sending it where they want it to be. Just a Boink in control of this ball, sends it off the wall, sends it to Heidi, does not find the tap, but Jay is there, rolling it into goal to open up our game 2.
See, what happened there is there was a demo early on Jay from Stanford that allowed them that early offensive pressure, but Jay coming in off spawn is able to position himself to where they just kind of forgot about him. He was coming in from Colorado's defensive side, and he was able to get the easy path to the ball and an easy goal.
And never a dull moment here in the PACG Rocket League. Just a Boink already taking it towards Stanford's goal again. Showering popcorn all over the field to commemorate their second goal in this second game.
Yeah, that was a beautiful carry into the goal here. You see Just a Boink following up his shot just in case he missed off the crossbar. That's perfect Rocket League play right there.
Just looks good too. Now play will resume. Still 4 minutes 40 or so on the clock. Zormask sends it towards middle. Dope Dinosaurs in the goal, but the ball deeper in goal. That's 3 for Colorado.
Okay. Dope Dinosaurs there was just caught out of position. He was not prepared for the immediate follow-up shot off of the clear, and that's just rough. That one's got to hurt because he was in the right spot. He was just going the wrong way.
That's going to happen sometimes. These cars do not turn quickly. I want to see from Stanford what they need to make happen to avoid those situations going forward. There needs to be better communication from the Dopes team there to kind of make sure he knows what's about to happen.
That one was a close one. That would have been an epic goal if he was able to tuck that into the top corner of the goal there. But Stanford's getting a little bit of offensive pressure here. I want to see what they're going to be able to do with it.
Now, Dope Dinosaurs tried to make the aerial play. Now it's up to Merlin. Tries to deflect it out of the air. Heidi in the one in control here. Wants to send it off the wall. Just a Boink. Looking to send it towards the middle where either Jay or Heidi. No, he's setting this up for him. Dude wants this goal, but his team not quite there to follow up where you would expect them to be.
Yeah, Heidi was not prepared for the kind of follow-up tap, but Jay is there to finish off that push as Colorado takes the 4-0 lead with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left.
That is 2 for Jay already in this game. The man's hot. This dude is incredible, and if I am the other teams in the PACG, I am taking notes. When I play Colorado, fear this man.
Well, it's not even just him. It's just the team play. His teammates are setting him up, as you see Just a Boink with a whiff there. That one was kind of entertaining, but they're still able to get a goal off of it. That's just good communication. Well, I whiffed. So your teammate's going to come in and clean it up for you. That's beautiful communication. That's what I love to see. Colorado just appears to be kind of finding their way with Stanford here.
Yeah, very strong start, 5-0. Hard to argue with that kind of scoreline. It took them much longer in Game 1 to get a comparable amount of points. What are they doing in this game that's giving them that much more success?
I feel like they're just getting more and more comfortable playing with Jay. I mean, having a new member on the squad, even if you've played with him before, is always going to be rough the first couple of games, as you see Heidi with another goal. See, everyone's getting involved for Colorado. That's what I love. You see Just a Boink there with the assist. Every single one of them is getting a touch on the ball, and that's just a sign of a well-oiled machine.
You know what I want to think? You know what I think's happening in Colorado's comms right now? I think Heidi and Just a Boink are kind of like saying to Jay, okay, you got your goals, play defense for a little bit. You're making us look bad. Just let us play.
I don't know about that one. I was thinking that maybe someone put on some Taylor Swift and they were getting ready to go. Starting to put their foot on the gas pedal here to some good tunes. But as we get into this possession here, Merlin's trying to clear it from the zone, but Jay's there to keep it in. As Heidi there for the follow-up, but he did not have enough boost to be able to tap that towards the goal.
Jay, however, does have enough boost, puts it forward for his team. Just a Boink, crosses across the middle. Heidi in the air, bounces it off the ground into goal. That is 3 goals. That's like a 30-second hat trick for Heidi. He went from 0 to 3 very, very quickly.
The captain decided, hey, I'm going to start getting some goals here. But what happened there is Jay was able to get a demo there on one of Stanford players. So they were playing 2v3. So you had the two people to kind of get the ball on goal and to distract the other two, and then you had Heidi there just to finish off the goal. It was a beautiful thing.
It's like Colorado's got this lever. Every time they play, it's like, okay, oh, it's on Jay. Jay's turn to carry. Oh, let's pull it over. Just a Boink's turn. Oh, we need Heidi. Heidi, you're carrying now. Now just Boink looking to put this one into Stanford's goal. Defense a little too good for that. Merlin looking for the clear. Heidi wants to bounce it back in, but too many members of Stanford here to make the easy goal happen. Merlin does get a decent shot at the clear, trying to carry it away. Does get that dribble going. Colorado answering back on the defense.
Yeah, I'm loving the offensive pressure we're seeing here from Stanford, but I'm getting concerned because every time they have to play some defense, their defensive rotations are looking a little shaky. It looks like they can't really tell who they want in goal. They don't have a set, defensive player that just kind of whoever's there is taking it, and normally that works out for them, but I feel like they need to get a little more experience before that kind of strategy is going to work out for them.
It is still a growing team, and they will have time to make those adjustments. Right now, Zormax trying to adjust the course of the ball midair, trying to get his team some points here. Heidi wants to give himself another one. 3 seems to be the magic number. He can't pass, though. Zormax once again here, bouncing dangerously. Merlin gets it out of there. That's a big play for his team.
Yeah, I feel like Merlin's been taking the brunt of the defensive work here. Even if it's not just saves, he's just in the right position to try to stop the push from Colorado, and that's a beautiful sign to see from the captain there.
Now Merlin throws it towards goal. Dangerous velocity, but Heidi always where he needs to be. Thinking 300 steps ahead is the Colorado team captain.
Yeah, I mean, they might be getting a little bit relaxed, but they were able to, make that defensive rotation back to stop that easy goal from going in for Stanford. But honestly, Colorado's just looking like a better team here in this one.
That's going to happen sometimes, but Stanford, a lot of fight in these boys, coming at rotating back as a team. Wants to stop Heidi, not able to do so. Heidi breaks it to 4, now half of his team's goals in this game.
Yeah, 4 goals on 6 shots. That's just a sign of the defenders not being in the right position, and not, as you can see there, he barely missed that. He was on that goal, he had the right position, both of them, but they weren't able to get the touches needed to stop that goal from going in.
I think if that same scenario pops up like 2 weeks from now, I think Stanford deflects that 9 times out of 10. It's just a little bit of an experience thing. That'll come with time as they continue to play here. Could make it a bit harder to deal with going forward. Now Heidi wants to clear this away from his team's goal. Able to do so, but Merlin there to throw his team back into the offense. Touches it towards the goal. This was a great opportunity for Stanford. Dope Dinosaurs just not quite where he wanted to be, though.
Yeah, with 10 seconds left here, I'd love to see Stanford get a goal or Colorado get a goal, but I think this game's pretty much over here unless some magical things happen in the next 3 seconds here.
Going to take some hot juggling. The ball is grounded. Colorado takes game 2 in a very convincing fashion. What is there to say other than that Colorado is looking like a fantastic team?
Well, I feel like Colorado's just finding their pacing. I mean, with the team change, they didn't look as good in Game 1. They still looked good, but they looked that much better in Game 2. And I can only see it going up from here. It looks like their communication is on point. Their rotations offensively and defensively look on point. Even when they started, it kind of felt like they were not, pushing as hard offensively in the later half of that game, but they were still there on defense, and they were still there on goal for offense to kind of run that score up a little bit, but not too much. They were just starting to make some flashy plays to try to, show off a little bit once they had the win locked up in that one.
Yeah, speaking of showing off, I know the Colorado captain made a point of saying he thought his team should have beat Utah and making a pretty good case here against Stanford. Now, as we go into Game 3, this could be match point for Colorado. Well, it is match point. It could be the match for Colorado.
Yeah, but I want to see some fight out of Stanford here. Once again, I think it would be key for them to get an early goal just to kind of get that momentum on their side.
Going to be the early demolition instead. Heidi and Dinosaurs fighting for the ball. Jay, the inevitable victor. Tends to be the thing with these 3 parties. There is the second one. In very limited time. This has turned into a demolition derby very quickly.
I feel like that. I'd love to see a little bit more out of that from Stanford. Maybe not in this game, but as Jay scores another goal to get Colorado off to the 1-0 start in this one. If Stanford can start kind of adopting these play styles from some of these other teams that have been playing better than they have. I feel like they could get some success. You see Colorado bringing out a bunch of demolitions because it's a lot easier to attack on goal when you're playing 3v2.
It is able to do just that. I do believe Jay has now scored the first goal in every one of these games so far.
He certainly looks comfortable on the team. And you can't really base, oh, is this player better or does the team look better since they've only played one game with each of the players. But they certainly look comfortable in this one with Jay.
Now he sends one towards goal. Sends it to Heidi, just for another tap. Just a boink, sends it. That one's on, not quite on target, actually. Bounces off the crossbar. Feels bad. Heidi tries to give him another chance. Or maybe just want to take this one for himself.
Yeah, as Merlin's able to squeak the ball out there and put it into Colorado's zone here, we could see an offensive opportunity for Stanford right here, but Jay is there to clear it out, even as Stanford players try mercilessly to put it back on goal.
And he does just that, but the demolition onto Merlin when he was the only player there available allows Heidi to score, no problemo. Watch that again, have eyes on what Jay does there. This would be an intentional demolition to throw Merlin out of that one.
Yeah, Colorado's just playing the mental game here. They know 3 is better than 2. They consistently have uneven offensive pushes in their favor, and it's working out for them.
Just basic math. You don't need to go to Stanford to figure that one out. Now, Just a Boink gets the better of a 3-man aerial exchange. Another fatality, another, oh, no, not another goal for Colorado.
You spoke too soon, son.
I did speak too soon. Heidi gets another for his team.
Yeah, Jay was able to get the assist there. I mean, this is just beautiful offensive gameplay from Colorado. Their rotations back for boost on offense to continue to be able to pepper the ball with shots in each possession is just, it's on another level right now. They look incredibly potent with their offensive attack.
And one thing that knows Colorado has done a very good job just is Just a Boink gets himself a solo goal there. This man has probably gotten the most consistent long-range shots out of any player I have seen in the league so far.
Yeah, these aerials coming out of Colorado, you can tell that they've played a lot and they've been practicing those aerials because they're hitting their shots more often than not.
That is Just a Boink's game right there. Now Merlin gets the better end of that initial clash. Jay wants to get control, but crosses it in front of his own goal. Bit of a dangerous thing to do in this sort of game. But now Dinosaurs puts his team on the board. What a shot, what a shot.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to see out of Stanford there. He was ready for the redirect, and Colorado got caught out of position there. That's the first time all game I've seen Colorado actually have to pay for their mistakes.
It seems they can bleed, and now Stanford's got to find a way to kill him.
Exactly, as we go into this next possession here. Colorado's already got it being pushed back on goal.
They're not one to let anyone have an edge over them for long. Jay sends it towards the middle of the field. Just a Boink, not quite on the right angle, so instead he throws it back to Heidi, but Stanford's waiting for them there. Heidi has the ball, sends it there, but no one there to defend for Stanford. It's a free goal for Heidi.
Yeah, you gotta have someone back on defense, or at least rotate back faster than that. I mean, Zormas there looks like he got caught out of boost, not able to rotate back in time to make a stop. That hurts.
Replay cam did show Dope Dinosaurs was in the relative neighborhood, just didn't have the speed on him to make the cutoff. Tries to redeem it with a good early break for his team. That's one thing Stanford has been doing quite admirably, has always been kind of getting the early initial advantage on these breaks, throwing it into the enemy team's goal.
Yeah, a little accidental bump there from a teammate. That's not going to help this defensive situation. As Heidi sets up for a shot on goal here, and he puts it home. The defensive stop was not there. He missed the save just by that much.
Dinosaur needs to be making these plays in goal. We've seen just a few too many get by him for what's really required at this level of play. If they shore that up going forward, though, I think we'll see large improvements in what Stanford's able to do.
Oh, Stanford's making major strides in their gameplay. They're getting better every week. I can tell they look like a much better team. Their communication is more on point when compared to last week. Their positioning is better. They just got to iron out the kinks a little bit, and they'll be able to take down some of these teams like Colorado.
Now, Just a Boink looking to exploit one of those kinks in the Stanford armor. Instead, going to be Heidi looking for the highlight reel play. But instead, it's Jay, the trifecta. of shots off the crossbar is going to be finished off by the new player for this squad.
Yeah, Jay looks like he's not only is he comfortable, but he's just getting that swagger into him. Colorado's kind of doing whatever they call out there. Whatever they want to do, they're able to get it done. So their communication must be on point. I don't see any double commits from them. I see their rotations for boost on offense and defense look good. They just look like an incredible team today.
They're looking very strong. Just a boink. Going to show off just a little bit more. Doesn't find it, though. Now Merlin does get the clear out. Zormask looking to cover his teammate. Merlin's really been making it happen for Stanford here, I have to say.
Yeah, Merlin's trying everything he can to get them on the scoreboard once again. But that defensive rotation was not there, and you see them get punished for it again as Heidi scores for a 5th time.
Is that the most for a single player in one game so far?
No, I think Planting Cargo had more than that in a game against Stanford.
Oh, yeah, Planting Cargo was a little bit on fire last time we saw him.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely feeling himself. He had his controller all nice and good and warm, and he was just doing some crazy stuff out there last week.
Speaking of crazy stuff, Colorado bounced one right in front of Stanford's goal. One of the things they've done really well in their games, though, has been finishing off those balls, bouncing in front of the goal. Didn't quite happen that time, though, but it's definitely been a skill that's come in clutch for them in previous situations.
Yeah, it's 8-1 as of now. I want to see Stanford get another goal on the board before the end here. They're not going to win this one as Colorado scores again. Heidi with 6 goals on 9 shots. That's an incredible percentage just going in the net.
Yeah, I mean, 9 is significantly greater than 1. It is a little safe to say this one is just about wrapped up. But Stanford still has a chance to prove some of their skills, strut their stuff. Dope Dinosaurs wants to make another good defensive play for his squad. Heidi puts another one on target. He does not stop. 7? Did Cargo get 7?
I couldn't tell you. Starting to get up there. These are the kind of players you want to look out for, the star players for each team. Heidi, Planting Cargo. Those are some names you're going to be seeing as the year goes on, putting up these big numbers on the scoreboard.
Well, they're making big boy plays for the big boy league here. Now, initial jostle, one of our last few of the game. Dope Dinosaurs, he's been doing a good job on that, getting a lot of favorable first kind of breaks there for his team fairly consistently. But the struggles seem to come on the follow-up after that. But Jay, no problems following up. That's 11th for Colorado.
These flurry of late goals don't mean that much to me because it looked like watching Stanford's play style, they're going all out to try to get another goal. I mean, they want to get more than one goal. I mean, now it's 11-1. They're putting everything they can into trying to make an offensive push work here in the last couple of seconds.
Unfortunately, that just means kind of the defense is going to lose out as a result. Merlin gets an opening strong charge, but Colorado put it back in their court again. Now, ball juggling and will not go in. Bounces off the ground. Colorado take that game 2.
Yeah, that one was not as close as our previous game. 11-1 scoreline for Colorado. Stanford, they don't look bad until it kind of starts getting to the point where it looks like they're starting to get a little worried. They go down like 3 or 4 goals, and they start changing their play style to try to be more aggressive on offense. That's hurting their defensive rotations, and it's allowing these scorelines to get out of hand quickly.
There does kind of seem to be this breaking point for Stanford. They do good to a certain degree. They make some great plays. They put up a really strong showing. But once it gets out of hand to a certain point, they just kind of start letting them go in one after another, and that's how we get these really bloated score lines against this squad.
I'd love to hear the comms in these kind of situations where they're down by only 2 or 3 goals to kind of hear if it gets frantic or if someone's getting like they kind of lose that fire that was in them at the beginning of the game when you're ready to go. You know how that kind of feeling of adrenaline rush. If they lose that and that's hurting them.
I mean, you always got to be wondering what's going through the player's head as he's doing things. How much is Colorado hooting and hollering? How much of it is still calculated comms for them? Because it still has to be organized comms on that team. Even when they start to get in kind of that showboaty stage of 9, 10, 11 goals, they're still team plays. And I think that's really impressive. When you get to that kind of advantage, it's real easy to play the hero ball, to showboat, do this, that, and the other. But even when they're in that dominant position, they're just playing good Rocket League.
Yeah, they're continuing to play as a team. They're continuing to try to, iron out those kinks in their own gameplay that they know they're not as good at. You can start to see them go for some more risky aerials just to try to get some, practice in. As you can see here, our final scores of today's matches. Washington State was able to take our early game 3-0 over USC, and Colorado was able to get their first win on the board of this PACG season as Stanford falls to 0-2 on the season.
And it's going to be a bit of a rough stuff for Stanford. We do have a long season ahead of us still as we go forward. This is going to be important for our initial seeding information. Going to have a pretty good idea of how these teams relate to each other going forward. So I know I'm very excited for Week 3.
Yeah, I'm excited to see one matchup. I don't know when it's going to be coming up, but I want to see Washington State play Colorado. I feel like that's going to be an incredible matchup. Two teams that have shown that they're good at Rocket League, that they can close out games when they need to, and that they have the skill needed to kind of take on the upper level of teams.
And speaking of the upper levels of teams, the game I really want to see would be Utah versus Arizona State. Right now, Arizona State looking very hot off their game with Stanford. They're looking very strong, but that maybe wasn't the best test of their strength. Meanwhile, Utah arguably overperforming in their defeat of Colorado. I want to see the hot hand against the hot hand, Class of Giants.
Yeah, Utah's feeling good. They're 1-0 after last week. But they were really tested by Colorado. They went to a Game 5, and even though the Game 5 was not that close, I feel like Colorado kind of lost their mojo going into Game 5. Yeah. And it certainly seems like they have it back after that 3-0 win today.
I think if we see Jay on Colorado in that game against Utah, I don't know if that's going to be, if that would change the result, but I think that definitely means a bit more fire in this team in the Game 5. That one would have been a bit more competitive, and, well, I say this just because I wish I could watch that game. That sounds like it would have been really cool.
Yeah. I'm excited to see as we get further into the season here, we're going to see some traditional rivalries come out. And I want to see if that changes the play style or if the emotions behind the rivalry change the way people play. I know that's what made the Utah-Colorado game so exciting last week, is that we're rivals. And to see that go to a Game 5 and for me to be a homer and the Utes to take it in 5 in a convincing fashion in that 5th game, it felt good.
It did feel good, but just from since it was a really good walk, there is no favoritism in this podcast ever. Never. It has never happened.
Certainly not with gamer tags either. I certainly don't make predictions, especially early on in the season, based solely off of gamer tags.
Hey, we don't have to now. We've seen the players. We know what they can do. And, well, we're just going to have to see what they do as we go forward. But I do believe that is just about all we have today. You want to make any closing remarks, Stents?
I look forward to next week. We had a wonderful game of matches today. 2 3-0s, Washington State and Colorado getting the victories. Feel free to follow our Twitch channel, follow our Twitter at PacificACG. And I'd love to see you guys here tomorrow for some League of Legends and on Monday and the future. Just be here every day. We have streams, I think, 6 out of 7 of the days of the week. I mean, there's always something amazing going on. Beautiful production. So we see Colorado taking on Utah in League of Legends tomorrow. The rivalry returns. I am not going to be a homer, and I know nothing about League, so I'm going to say Utah is going to take that in a convincing fashion.
We'll have to see, but for now, that is all we have. I am Archie Sleek, joined here by Andrew Stents, signing off for the PACG. We'll see you next time.
Have a wonderful night.